And welcome back to the second game of my road to 2300. This one was a heartbreak, but we'll get into it a bit later about why this was. I get the white pieces, and with white, I play e4. We get a Sicilian, and here I avoid the main Sicilians with d4. Um, Also against knight c6, I played Rosolimo. So with d6 we could transpose into the Rosolimo, I play bishop b5. It's an opening I only picked up recently, so usually I'm not too confident in this opening, but we'll see. We have bishop d7 and c4. The idea is that if black trades, which is the best move, I get this b pawn really restricts the queen side of black. I'm controlling these two squares. Since he has a c pawn here, the knight can't really use this route, so like route d7 to c5. And yeah, have a positional grip against the Sicilian. Knight c6, knight f6, knight c3, queen a5. Again, as I said in my previous video, these inaccuracies, don't care. Castles. And here e5 I thought was pretty bad because he has all his pawns on dark squares, and has a dark square bishop. Also, the knight can't use the c5 square. It can go to d7, but what does it do on d7? It maybe can go to b6, but and then maybe do a bit of controlling of c4, but really, do I want to use the c4 square? I'm not so sure. Yes, he prevents d4 from on my side, but it's not like I was really threatening d4. Yes, maybe I would have played d4, but it's not like this is my only plan. On the other hand, I have most of my points after d3 on light squares, and I will probably go to try to expand on the queen side on the light squares, while I have a dark square bishop, so this is a more harmonious structure. So since his pieces are struggling for squares, I'd rather not trade pieces. Bishop e7, and here my plan is actually I use the c4 square to get the knight to c4 to evict the queen, and then attack on the queen side. And now I reposition the knight to d3, and I will get a knight to d5. He develops his knight. Yeah, this one I don't like. The problem with knight d5, or like bringing any knight to d5, is it looks like a perfect square, but he manages to trade a knight, and as I said before, I generally don't want trade because his pieces are struggling for squares. Why did I do this? I thought after knight b6 he can maybe like blockade, and yes, I'm always better. After knight b6 I could maybe gun a4, a5. Yes, I'm always better, but how do I win? Like, being better in chess is not winning, because you can't like pause and say, okay, I'm better, I win, but you need to win the game. So maybe, but I think knight f5 would have been better. Get some pressure on the d6 pawn, which is backwards. He snaps off the knight instantly, and yes, I'm still better. I have a good knight on d5. He has a backward pawn, his bishop. Get some scope now. He's maybe threatening bishop g5, trade the dark square bishops. That's why I'm playing f4. Takes, takes, and now he has a backwards pawn on d6. I'm playing against something. And he wants to lash out with f5. And if I take, I thought, okay, he has active rook. The engine wanted me to do this, but I thought he has his active rook. His bishop gets active now. Knight can come to b6, controlling d5. Yeah, I didn't want to do this. Also, I thought if he takes, I'm happy because then I'm getting rid of my weak d pawn. I'm playing against this backwards d6 pawn. Um, the idea behind queen h5 was simply preventing bishop g5 after some sort of knight trade. Also, I wanted in this position, I would have loved to play a move in this position before f4 even. I would have loved to play a move queen g4, but knight f6 forces the trade instantly, and I can never be better now because this is way too thick as a blockade. I didn't think I would be worse, but yeah, I can never be better. Now knight f6 doesn't work because I can take on f5. He played g6 to evict my queen, and here I did I changed the structure, and the engine didn't like it. My thought process was because he has played g6, his dark squares will be weak on the king's side, and I will always get like some sort of a dark square attack with my dark square bishop. And his knight, mm, yeah, f6, but what does it do on f6 if I get like my bishop to c3 and then ideas like rook f3, rook h3, getting the queen to the diagonal, um, maybe striking with d4, blast open the center, and then again get the queen to the dark square diagonal. I thought I had so much potential to attack on the dark squares. That's why I did this trade. And I still think this is like a really, really good position. Now I trade on f5 because he has bad pawn here, and two good pawns. And I thought I was like really, really doing extremely well. The engine says I should try to attack on the dark squares, but don't trade off this dark square bishop. And only after knight f6 trade, which is okay. Ah, yeah, I win the pawn now. I win the pawn. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Yeah, but I think what I did was reasonable. Um, he activates his knight, and now I'm preparing d4 to get rid of this pawn, trade this pawn for this pawn, and then play against this d6 pawn, and have the attack on the queen side, on the king side. Here's like super bad pawn structure. I play a3 because I don't want knight g4 to evict my dark square bishop. Maybe I even want to play something like queen f2, queen g3, and after queen f2, knight g4 would immediately force my bishops to trade, and I don't want to trade. And yes, now I just blunder my bishop. So as I said, I didn't want to trade. I'd rather just give my bishop for free. Um, I just completely missed this. And as you can see, I was thinking for like 30 seconds here, even a bit 30 seconds. And I just in this in these 22, my math is not good. In these 22 seconds, I never even noticed that the queen is looking at my bishop, um, which is bad, just simply bad. Yeah, and afterwards, not really much to be done here. I played on because I thought he maybe he can blunder as well, but not gonna happen. He calmly attacks my king and then sacks his knight to get this pawn through. Um, yeah, don't know. Sad game. What can we learn of this game? I think we can learn like the most we can learn is like in this position, like around this phase, this here, like to see, okay, my opponent is struggling with pieces and placing pieces and not trading, even though I gain something from the trade. I get a nice knight on d5. My opponent gained a lot more from this trade. But yeah, back to 2201. Sad game. But a road to 2300 means I will play one game a day and show you all of my games. And if it is such a bad game, then I'm also going to show you. So, hope tomorrow gets better. Leave me any feedback if you want. And bye bye.